Got the Badillac behind me. Last you guys saw, I just pushed this thing outside, got the body set on the frame for hopefully the final time. And now I'm working on some wiring, working on some plumbing, working on some mounting of some coolers, working on a ton of stuff. But the main thing and the most labor-intensive thing is going to be the wiring on this. So I've kind of been looking underneath the hood at good places to run some of the Holley Terminator X standalone wiring harness from the engine into the car so I can get the ECU mounted and run a bunch of other wiring for the fuel pumps. I've got some relays to mount. I need to do like a power distribution block underneath the hood. So there's a lot going on here. So situations like this, I kind of just like to lay everything out the best I can, spread it out, and then kind of get an idea of the big picture of what needs to be done. So I'm just going through some of the wiring right now, trying to untangle some of it, make the wiring free, and just make it a little bit easier to work with. There's probably going to need to be some wires that need to be lengthened because the truck body that it was on, where things were mounted, isn't necessarily the same. So ideally we don't have to do a lot of that. That can be kind of time consuming. So hoping a lot of it's just going to be the right length or even a little bit longer, and that'll be okay. But we're just going to get to work and start running some wires. And like I said, try and find a place I can run a pass-through in the firewall to get some of the ECU wiring into the car. Some of the stuff will be ran underneath, like for the transmission cooler and stuff like that, engine oil cooler. But a lot to be done. We're trying to leave tomorrow to go to LS Fest. This thing's nowhere near in the condition it needs to be to run. Perfect. Love to see it. All right, we're looking inside the passenger compartment of the car to find a place to run some wires through this thing, and came across this opening right here. It's pretty small. We're going to need to enlarge it a little bit, so I'm going to just peel back this carpet. Yeah, we've got some plastic rubbery matting type stuff. I'm going to cut that out. The hole needs to get opened up quite a bit, so I'm going to cut this stuff out of the way and see what we can do about feeding some wires through there once we open that up. We have the old Cutmaster 200 fired up, so we're going to get in there with this. Got to be careful to not go too deep. We got some wires pretty close to the other side of the firewall. So we're just going to open this up quite a bit. Some of those connectors are pretty large, so I'm going to hog that out and see what happens. All right, so it might not look like it, but we're making some pretty good progress, honestly. You might notice a lot of the wiring has disappeared. There's still a mess in here, obviously, but we're working through that. So I've got the main harness for the Holley ran through a hole in our firewall. So I'm going to get to mounting the Holley here pretty soon. The main power for our ECU, we're going to run that through the car back to the battery, which is underneath the rear seat here. So I've got this piece of trim removed, and also this piece of trim is gone. This yellow wire is our fuel pump enable wire, so I'm going to run that to the very back of the car, and that really should be for the most part all of the wiring that needs to go inside the car, besides like the dash. So most of it will be ran either underneath or back to the engine compartment once I figure out the wire length. So things are going pretty good, honestly. Knock on wood, I don't have any trees by here, but yeah, things are going good. It's starting to make sense. Stuff's starting to lay out. Got the fuse block back in here. A lot of the underhood wiring we're going to branch off from this terminal, which this wire goes directly to battery. I've got the old OBS power distribution block. We'll use that. This is our NOS solid state relay for the nitrous. So that's going to get mounted on this stud. I got to hog out that hole a little bit so it tightens down. But it's starting to look like something. We're getting it cleaned up. I might have to pull up the Holley EFI on my laptop to specifically remember which wire does what, and so we make sure everything's hooked up correctly. But things are going pretty smooth. It's about, what time is it here? 2:30. There's a bee on my face. That wasn't cool. John and Scott will be out here in a little bit, and they'll finish up some of the fab stuff, getting the radiator mounted, and yeah, things are going pretty good, honestly. Happy with that. All right, so I cut a little access hole in the glove box to mount our ECU. Fits so good in there. That is sweet. You love to see it. So I'm going to get some adhesive, like Velcro. It already has Velcro on the bottom, but I'm going to Velcro that so it stays in place there. Our main harness is this conglomerate of wires there, and then we got our main power harness that needs to go back to the battery right here. I might need to extend that a little bit to reach. If so, not a huge deal. Man, starting to come together. Starting to see the big picture with this thing, and I'm really excited. So we're going to keep on with the wiring, and I'll update you guys in a little bit.
All right, we just got here. Ricky's been putting in some pretty good work on the electrical. And I think Scott and I are going to start with fitting the big old radiator right up in here. We're going to have to do some clearancing. We're going to have to cut out right around this area because our radiator is about 4 inches too wide to fit in there. So we're gonna do a little notch in. We'll probably make some fill plates so it's not open and it doesn't look super bad, but we'll see how she goes. We're gonna get her to fit to start.
All right, doing a little update before it gets too dark. So got most of the wiring done. The only things left really to wire up are gonna be our external coolers, and these are for like the triggers for like the fans. Gotta send one of these to the solid state relay for the nitrous. But over here, let's take a peek. I think it's coming along really good, honestly. So I got the fuel pump wiring all done. This is the fuel pump module right here. So we just got to get our tank installed, the brackets and all that good stuff, and that won't be a big deal. And then back over here, I put in the switch panel. So that'll be our starter. That's for the ignition. That's for the nitrous arm. It's coming together pretty good. I can button all this up. I figure I'll just leave it out until we have this thing running, just in case there are any issues. Big project, so we'll just leave it alone. It's nighttime. Things are getting serious. Got an air hammer out here. Making some room. All right, it's the next day. Also the day we were planning on leaving. We're not leaving today, unfortunately. There's still too much stuff left to do. But we made some good progress last night. I'll give you guys a little overview of where we're at. And then I got to get to work on this thing, finish this wiring, plumb some stuff up, and just got to get going. It's crunch time. It's been crunch time. So we've got our steering pretty much figured out. John Scott came up with this Heim solution to stabilize our intermediate shaft. So that's pretty sweet there. That's done. Steering works good. We got the transmission cooler mounted. This is going to be a temporary deal just because of time, obviously, and how low it hangs. We're going to want to mount that up higher. We'll probably end up building cross members for that transmission cooler. That won't be a huge deal. The wiring's coming along pretty good. I've got this MSD solid state relay mounted up there, so I just got to hook some wires up to that. I got to go to the auto parts store, pick up a couple ground wires. That won't be a big deal. Got a bunch of wires ran over here by the fuse block. I got to mount the coils yet. Probably going to do that back in this vicinity on each side, keep it looking symmetrical. But we're making some progress. Got to keep going. A lot to do today. Well, this isn't helping the progress. So it was coming down a lot harder a few minutes ago. It seems to have slowed down, but the forecast isn't looking great. So I'm going to try and clear out some of this stuff and get it pushed inside, I guess. All right, so got most of our fan wiring in. I understand it's not great looking. Okay, it looks a little rat nasty. We'll address that at a maybe later date. But we've got our even side coils mounted over here on the unibody frame rail. I got to mount this side yet. We got Kyle over here. He was doing some cool stuff. I went and got some gas in the Crown Vic. So we needed to mount a shifter in here. Boom. We got this old B&M piece that came out of the truck. So we removed the little jump seat that was in here. Turns out, perfect size to fit this shifter in here. And there's some studs we're going to be able to utilize that are already in there. So we're not going to need to through bolt it. through the body of the car, which makes it super nice if we ever have to take it out. So what we're going to do is like index one of these holes here because these studs aren't spaced exactly perfect for the shifter, but it's just going to sit in there like so-ish. And then we've got 2 more studs back here, and we're going to come off of this bracket with 2 brackets to go back there. And it's going to be bolted down, and that thing is going to look good.
And quick and easy.
Quick and easy, yeah. I'm going to have to do a little vacuum job. There's some nastiness in here. Don't like that. We got to keep this thing clean. It's a Cadillac, man.
It smells new.
It
smells like a DTS.
It literally, yeah. It's just like old Chevy trucks. They got their own smell, and they all smell the same.
It's true. It's true. It smells like a Cadillac of this era.
All right, we're taking a little break from working on the Badillac. So Crown Vic's going down to LS Fest 2. We're taking that. Kyle's truck, his cousin Dalton's trailer. Appreciate your support in this matter. We're going to have a full house down there. Tons of cool stuff. We're going to forget probably a ton of stuff to bring. I need to remember to bring an Easy Up. That'll be nice for the sun. Lots of tools. Hey, come on, man. This thing's pro.
This, just in case we got to work on that.
Oh, yeah.
So
brutal.
I know we'll make it.
We'll make it. All right, huge moment. We got the whole team here. Radiators going in, getting mounted.
This is a temporary setup for this weekend. It will be mounted much more professional after this.
Yeah, there's a lot of self-tappers that were used on this project, unfortunately.
You hate to see it. But...
Oh, I stripped it.
Oh, come on, man.
Oh, brutal.
You absolutely hate to see it.
Brutal. This is some SEMA level stuff.
Yeah.
Better welds in most areas.
The welds aren't bad, honestly. None of the welds are bad. Did you show that pro setup steering that we got down there?
Let's just look at that again. Yeah, that is pro setup. That's a brand, pro setup.
Mm-hmm.
That's our new brand.
We got the power steering lines moved, so that fits now. Dude, we're getting close, man.
It does look good. I'll say that. It looks good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
There's going to be a lot of tidying up. I'll reiterate that. When we get back, we're going to tidy up a lot of stuff. But
oh, yeah. There's going to be major changes, but it will be together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, it's 10 p.m. night before we're supposed to leave. Actually, the night we were supposed to leave.
Mm-hmm.
The night of the day that we were supposed to leave. And we're out here working on the Badillac. So John's in here going deep on some welding. He's got some super nice fuel cell mounts built up for this thing. And you can see here we got some real nice equipment. Got the nitrous bottle mounts. He's welded those in, or at least got them tacked in.
Now I got to take that nitrous bottle out, and then I can full weld both of those out. Then we got to drill the hole with a hole saw for our nitrous line and fuel lines to come through. What else do you guys have left to do?
Oh, man. I got some small wiring jobs up front.
Mm-hmm.
That wasn't going well. I needed a break from that.
Okay.
We need to get the battery on the battery charger.
What about brakes?
Brakes, I think. Did you tighten those lines?
The one side. We still have to figure out which port we're going to into that.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, we got brakes.
Nice. Drive shaft, that in?
Drive shafts in.
Sweet. Man, it's coming down to the wire, but I think we'll be able to get there.
Yeah, what about the radiator? Did we say the radiator?
The radiator is semi in place.
Yeah.
So we have the top secured, but we need to make mounts for the bottom still. I wanted to get this knocked out, so then you guys could work on lines, and then I'll go figure out what I'm going to do for the bottom for a mount on the radiator. And yeah, there's not too much more left. I mean, we have to make some down pipes for the exhaust.
Yes, a couple turn downs.
Couple turn downs, and yeah, just some odds and ends wiring stuff, I think, and we're getting pretty close.
I want to hear it run.
Yeah,
I need to hear it run. I need to hear it.
Mm-hmm.
I was just watching some old videos of it. It sounds incredible.
Before we sleep.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Before we sleep. We might not sleep tonight, but
I'm saying 3 a.m. We're still gonna be here.
that would not surprise me.
But we need to do it.
Yeah, gotta be done.
Well, young man, what do you gotta say for yourself?
I'm pretty happy with how it turned out. It was a lot of work, took a long time, but you know, better than it could have been.
I think it's sweet.
Yeah,
it looks really good. Yeah. We spent John spent a lot of time on this. I would say in the trunk area. I mean, there's hours in this.
Oh, yeah.
But there was a lot to get done. So we got our new return hose ran, the new feed from the tank to the fuel filter, because obviously the wheelbase changed, the placement of the tank changed, so we needed to adjust the hoses accordingly. Everything up front is looking pretty good. Got the battery charger on. I think we're pretty much ready.
Yeah, I think we should see if she'll crank over.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's get this.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. You even got fluid in her?
Yeah. H2O, bro.
Yeah, that's nice, dude.
I think it looks good, honestly.
Dude, I'm super happy. It fits in there great.
Yeah.
It looks like it came in there.
Yeah. I mean, this, like we've said it a dozen times, we'll clean up the wiring after the fact. I mean, but yeah, let's just hook the battery up. Let's see what happens. I'm trying to think, is there anything preventing us from lighting this thing off?
We're about to find out, but I don't think so.
Yeah.
Where are the exhaust dumping right now? Because I haven't really looked at that. Straight into the cross member. It'll be fine for the time being.
Yeah, no big deal.
I like that.
All right, I'm gonna hook that battery up and
let's do it.
See if we can make some noise.
Sweet.
All right, my gauge panel's just laying here for now, but we're gonna bump it over. Okay, I'm gonna cycle the fuel pump a couple times. Okay, boys, I think I'm gonna light her off. Ready?
Yeah, ready back here.
See what happens.
Well,
I think she runs.
Yeah.
I'm not sure why it was backfiring.
Yeah, that's pretty gnarly backfire. Yeah. Make sure all those coils are plugged in. And injectors.
All right, stand by. We're gonna take a look at the coils, make sure they're in the right spot. All right, had two coil wires plugged in backwards. Swap those. I think that's gonna take care of the issue. Both primaries were cold, so no big deal. We're gonna light it off again, see what happens. Okay, here we go.
Nice.
Engine was moving quite a bit.
Yep.
Scott just said, hey, did we put those transmission crossmember bolts in? The answer to that is no.
That would be an issue.
And also, alternator's not charging for whatever reason, so we got to figure out why that is. So, yeah. A couple things to work on, but sounds badass.
Yeah, it does. It sounds really, really nice.
Love to see it. Can't ask for much more than that. I mean, obviously we got a little bit more that we're going to work on. To put a unibody car on a truck frame and have it fire up and run that good, just right off the bat, I mean,
super impressive.
crazy. We're going to do some investigating. We'll follow up with you guys in a minute.
Yeah.
All right, guys, it's the next morning. Got a little bit of sleep. Woke up feeling pretty good, pretty genius-like. Came out here, said, hey, got this relay hooked up backwards. So I think we solved our cooling fan issue with the fans coming on even when the ignition isn't on. So I think that's going to be good. Still got to figure out our charging system issue. And then get this on the lift and button some other stuff up. But I was very pleased to hear this thing run last night. That was awesome. So I'm going to fire it up again and try and put some heat in it and do a fluid check and, yeah, wait for John and Scott to show up. Still a fair amount of work, but we're getting there. Got to get on the road. Really got to get on the road. Do a little cold start on this thing. So my buddy Matt Sanford tunes this thing just like all my stuff. And he actually started his own YouTube channel. So check that out. Matt Sanford, great dude. Good human being. Even better tuner.
Well, it's been a very big struggle with the brakes.
Man, yeah. But I think we got front brakes now. For whatever reason, the new alternator quit charging again. That's unfortunate. So we're going to have to figure that out. But we got to go. It's almost 5 o'clock. And we got about 9.5 hour drive. So it's time to go. We'll figure it out when we get there. I mean, we don't have the throttle cable, obviously. So it's just going to be idle speed only. But hope it stops. The pedal is exponentially better than what it was before, which was non-existent. So, see what happens.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, there was a whole lot of doubt, but we're pulling onto the trailer right now, and the event has not started yet. Yeah. What a beaut. That's tight.
You love to see it, boys.
Yeah.
I think if we told anyone that we built this thing in essentially 4 days, they'd laugh at us, say we're stupid, and then call us stupid again. But, you know, that's what happened. This thing got built in basically 4 days. Mm-hmm. There was a lot of time put into this. There was a lot of frustrations.
Dude, yeah.
There was not a lot of sleep, unfortunately. But, man, it honestly turned out pretty good. Obviously, we've said it 5,000 times. There's a lot we need to clean up with it and make it a little bit better. But
it's on there.
oh man,
and it's safe. It is safe. It's safe. I'm confident in everything that we did. Yeah, it might not look the best. We need to tidy a little bit up, but dude, everything's safe, and I'm completely confident. I'd drive it for sure.
Definitely.
Easily.
So we got a 10-hour drive ahead of us. So we're gonna hit the road and see you at LS Fest. All right, well, we're headed to LS Fest, so great drive ahead of us, another one. But man, I'm extremely tired. I'm kind of burnt out. Kind of missed the video for Wednesday this week, past week, whatever. I've lost track of time, but these guys have worked extremely hard, and I'm very thankful that they always help me out on stuff like this. So appreciate your guys' support in this matter. Drop a thanks to John and Scott in the comments, because those are some good dudes out here helping me bring you guys this weird stuff and just have a good time. So hopefully I'll see some of you guys at LS Fest. This video will probably come out after we're already there and gone and thinking about next year, but hey, love to see it.